Hello everyone, VJoseph42 back with another deck review. This is for the Coat of Arms, and there's 3 different decks as you can see. They were created by Jam Packed Cards. I apologize, but I forget the actual creator's name, but he doesn't specify that. I guess he just wants to go by Jam Packed Cards, so we'll just do that. There's your standard, or the main deck, the Coat of Arms. There's the Dark Ages deck, and then there's the Bicycle Bronze Age deck. And, well, that's what they say on the French. Coat of arms on this one. This one, Dark Ages in gold foil. It's a limited edition one. And then this one says Bicycle Top Bronze Age on the bottom. That was a stretch goal that they added in later on. I don't remember if they printed only 1,000 of these, if they got in under the 1,000 print run thing, or if they actually printed 2,500. I don't know. And you see a spade tip on the front. This one is kind of hard to see, with a crown in it and some birds. And this one actually has a bit of kind of a embossing to it, as you can see. It's nicer up close. Coat of arms, in case you're wondering, not familiar. It's a little bit hard to describe, but it is basically a unique heraldry seal or image. Basically, it helps identify a person or a family or, business, whatever. Different, I mean, my family doesn't have a coat of arms. So some families, many families might have a coat of arms in a family that dates back, many, many hundreds of thousands of years even. Hundreds or at least thousands of years. That, is a part of their family. And, but not my family, of course. The one side, it says Coat of Arms, Dark Ages, and Bronze Age. Air Christian Fans made in USA. And again, gold foil. The other side, same thing, but it's upside down for some reason. Top, you get some nice details, scroll work, and this one's I get in foil. And then the bottom, it says Jam Packed Cards. It's a logo, which is it's a tuck case jam packed with cards. And these two are made by Expert Point Card Company in Taiwan. This one's made by USBC, obviously. And it says that much on there. And then the back, you see the back designs. This one's got kind of red and yellow and blue coloring. And this one is black or gray and dark gray, basically, with green eyeballs. And this one's kind of got brown and green colors. Just pretty easy. As you can see, they feature that, ever popular lion, which is on a lot of crests and seals, and that's kind of what it would look like, as you see there on the seal. That would be a coat of arms. And that one has a red seal. This one has a green one. This one has a special one that's a green one, and it's numbered limited edition 926 out of 1,000. So that's pretty cool. So go what we get here. Oh, on the flap, you do get the Jam Packed Cards logo again on this one. And a couple of seals right there. Symbols, whatever you want to call them. So, first of all, you do get an ad card, which says jampackedcards.com. It's a Joker without a head. It's kind of weird. And you see the logo in the bottom corner again. And you can see here what the back design looks like. But on this card, it's kind of a gaff. It's a different color, as you can see in comparison. I think that's pretty cool. It can be used as a gaff card for color change. But I do prefer, in this case, I think I do prefer this one over this one just a little bit. They're both very nice though. You do get another gaff card, and that's this. It's an Ace of Spades, except that it is in red. And here you got the actual red color. And I'll show you the actual Ace of Spades momentarily. For the Jokers, it's a one-way image. It says JK in the one corner. You see the Joker, his head is flying off for some reason. It's come loose. And he seems to be okay with that. And he also has, interestingly enough, a horseshoe and a 4-leaf clover, despite the fact that he's having bad luck. And then it says on the bottom, better an ounce of luck over an ounce of gold. Or actually, better an ounce of luck then an ounce of gold. I guess so. Otherwise, you'll end up without a head. The other Joker is, well, somewhat similar. It says JK. You got the Jester hat on there. And there's a coat of arms, a symbol that says, create your own luck, and you see a horseshoe and a four-leaf clover. And again, it says better an ounce of luck than an ounce of gold. That's kind of fitting, kind of nice. And then we get to the Ace of Spades. It's just like the front of the box. Spade grip with a crown in it. And you see that two-headed bird. I forget what that's called, but it is what it is. Mythological creature. And the corners you see there is kind of a flag hanging from the wall for the index. I think that's pretty cool and fitting. What you would see back in that time, I guess. And the other aces are similar, except they got curtains on them. Red and kind of gold colors on the hearts and diamonds. And blues and blacks for the spades and the clubs. And then the court cards, full on heraldry, or coat of arms, I guess. Symbols in those colors. They look pretty cool. It reminds me of the heraldry decks that were put up by Circle City Cards years ago. A few years ago anyways, on the House of Playing Cards when that was still around. It's still around, but it's pretty much dead, that website. And I'll just show you all of them very quickly. Number cards, a little bit more typical. These cards, as you can see, they got kind of a bluish gray color to the faces, darker around the borders, and it matches the back as well. So that's nice. Different kind of pips and orientations of the pips, as you can see. And I'll just put these aces in there, get them out of the way. I'll show you the next deck. The black one, you're going to get the logo on the flap, and these are in gold foil. It's nice. And then you get the same ad card, except it's kind of pink and gold colors, pink and yellow. And in the back, it's nice kind of bold green color with red eyeballs. It looks pretty cool. Sadly, that's not what we get in the deck. You also get this, again, a gaff card. It's a Jack of Clubs in green and yellow colors with kind of pink flags hanging from the corners on the index. We'll see the other cards. We'll see the actual Jack of Clubs in a minute. The Jokers, you get the same things. And you'll see there's a bit of fading in all four corners. And then we get to the actual cards themselves. And I'm not a fan of this. It's kind of like gray on black, gray on gray. You can barely see the pip, just kind of like the box. It's there, I guess. You can see it from a distance. It might be a little bit harder. My lighting must be really good. And then you get the other aces. They're kind of a pink color for the spades. Hearts and diamonds, so it's kind of a pink color. Gold colors with the clubs and the spades. And then the court cards, more the same as before, except just basically yellows and blacks for the spades and clubs. And kind of a pink color for the hearts and diamonds. And here is the actual Jack of Clubs in comparison to the gaff Jack of Clubs. I much prefer this one over what we got because you can actually see the artwork and it stands out, it pops. For me, that's much better. Hearts and diamonds aren't too bad, but when you look at this, it seems kind of hard to see. On the camera, the lighting must be, like I said, pretty good because I can actually see it decently. But for the most part, I'm not a huge fan of that. I should show you the back design. Again, it's devoid of color. You just see green eyeballs. The rest is kind of gray and black. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of this one because it's just, depending on the light, it's hard to see the artwork. And if I turn off the light, Now what do you see? You still see it, I guess. Not as good as you can see. So different lighting situations, it's not such a good deck. I would have preferred, personally, this back and this face for this deck. It just would have been a lot better, a lot more contrast in the colors. Anything is better than what they gave us. Not a big fan of white or, well, dark gray pips on a black background or a dark gray background. It just, they don't stand out enough. But that's just me. One more to look at is the bicycle one. This one has the logo again, the flap, as well as bicycle trademark stuff. And then, again, the same thing on those little flaps, ears, whatever you want to call them. And this one, you get ground colors. Kind of a brown color, beige color on the faces. With dirty, kind of dirty corners. Same ad card. And again, you get a green back on that ad card for a color change effect. And this time you get a Gaff King of Clubs, which actually has a spade pip within it, which is kind of interesting. So it could also be used as a reveal for the Ace of Spades. So it's a double thing, I guess. And this is the actual back design of the cards, which I do like. Browns and greens. In comparison to this one, which is fine. I like it as well, but I kind of prefer that one. It just looks nicer. And then you get the same jokers. The Ace of Spades, brown and green colors. And then in the back, I'll show you. Hearts, kind of red and gold. Again. For the hearts and the diamonds, that is. And then the court cards again. I'll show you some. Get the same thing as usual. Here's the actual King of Clubs. It's got clubs in there. Interestingly enough, you can use this as well. I mean, there's one club for an ace and four for a 4 or 5. So, I mean, there's built-in reveals. Here we got 2 hearts. You know, this one's got 4 diamonds. So you can do reveals like that as well if you want. But yeah, this one is a little bit interesting how it's quite different. Somewhat different from the actual King of Clubs. It's got spades in there. It's Ace of Spades reveal. So that's pretty interesting. Another thing I forgot to mention I wanted to is how the indexes are different from the number cards to the court cards. I mean, that's fine. It stands out a little bit, gives it kind of a regal look, but I would have liked to see them be a little bit more similar. But I don't mind it so much in this deck. So, that's kind of what you get for the cards. You do get bicycle stock and Ericus and Finis on this one, obviously. It handles very nicely. Just bear with me as I put the cards back in the deck. I don't like to put all my aces and jokers together. I like them to be shuffled nicely. So bicycle stock, Ericus and Finis on this one. Handles nicely. And I like the colors that they used for this one. And I like the gaff cards that they used. This one, obviously, it's made by Expert Playing Card Company. It does have a embossed stock. Oh, I can see a little bit of scratching. There's something on there. That's kind of interesting. It does have a bit of a, well, I mean, it does have an embossed stock, master finish, whatever they call it. So it handles okay. But unlike the bicycle deck, Expert Playing Card Company decks, they're a little bit stiffer, especially at first, and they take a little bit more work to kind of break them in. I'm not a huge fan of that. I prefer Legends and USBC because of that. And again, as you can see, it's kind of hard to make out those colors on the black deck. I'll put the jokers in there somewhere. The This deck, the Coat of Arms, I do like the colors on this one as well. I like the colors used on the faces. I like the colors that they use for the artwork and the backs. And again, it handles nicely. But again, it's the Expert Playing Card Company deck. So, it's a bit stiffer. Damn, I hate when that happens. And, you know, it is what it is. Overall, for ratings, if I was to rate for handling and, you know, stock and finish, I would say a 4 out of 5. Maybe a 4 out of 5 for the bicycle deck. 3 3/4 for the Expert Playing Card Company decks, just because it is a bit, nicer. Nicer than the other ones. I'm all over the place here. As far as artwork and theme is concerned, I like the theme, I like the artwork. I'm not a big fan of the black deck. For the bicycle deck, the Bronze Age, and the regular Coat of Arms, I'm going to have to say 4 1/4 out of 5. I'm only going to say 3 3/4 out of 5 for this one, just because I just don't like the colors that they used at all. I think they could have popped a little bit more. I'm not a big fan of it. As for usability, I guess they're okay. There's, you know, some usability. The pips are a little bit different on some of the cards, how they orient them, and the code cards are a bit different, but they could probably still be used for Magic and for playing cards. In fact, I got some GAF cards that come with them. So overall, I'm going to say for usability, except for the black deck again, because I think it's a little bit harder to distinguish some of the pips on that background. So again, the Bronze Age and the Coat of Arms, I will say 4 out of 5 usability. The other one, I'm going to say 3 3/4 again. Overall, I'm going to say 4 out of 5 for the Bronze Age and the Coat of Arms. For this one, the Dark Ages, I'm just going to say 3 3/4 out of 5. Overall, they're pretty cool decks. You can get them at jampackedcards.com right now. Link will be in the description. And that is that. I think that's just, you know, being a little bit fair. They're all pretty nice, but just this one could have been a little bit better. Anyways, that is that. I will see you next time. Sorry if it's a bit long, but yeah, I'll see you next time.